All right, folks, here we are for another session of Off the Grid. I want to welcome back my co-host D-Mitch and today's special guest. Yo, we got MC Damien Smith in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Glad to be back.
We're here today to talk about the album that you released in February, Balance to the Force, 11 tracks. Hey, did you do all the production for the album?
I did, yeah. I did all
Okay.
the album.
Well, good. Before we get into it, hey, tell us what you've been up to for the last year.
Last year, just life, making music as always. Going to school, got my degree.
Nice.
Got promoted at work, so just a lot happening. I think also got married as well, so a lot of life milestones happened in the past year.
Very cool, man. What you end up getting your degree in?
Psychology.
All right, good stuff, man. Well, good. Hey, man, why don't we start now with just the thought process of how you put that album together and how that all went down.
So the thought process behind Balance of the Force is just trying to find balance within myself. So like the first half of the album is a little bit more lighthearted and aggressive, and then the second half, lighthearted and aggressive, and the second half is a bit more serious and focused. So I feel like life is all about balance. If you go too far this way or too far that way, you kind of are diluting yourself. So just being 100% me. That's pretty much what it is. That's the thought process behind it.
Well, hey, what about the title of the album? I know whenever me and D-Mitch have to come and decide, what we want to call the album. We go back and forth quite a bit and very, very deliberate when we end up choosing the name. But did you go back and forth and waffle between different names, or did you know that you wanted to call this album Balance to the Force?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So at first it was called Say It With Your Chest. So yeah, just similar concept, just 100% being yourself. But I settled on Balance of the Force because I'm also a Star Wars fan, and I like the philosophy behind like the light side, the dark side. I love the psychology behind characters like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. So yeah, I thought Balance of the Force just brought an extra bit of flair to the album, and I was able to incorporate like skits from the movies. I guess it just made it more fun for me, and I think more enjoyable listen to incorporate those elements into the album, and that's why I settled on it as well, because it was more fun for me.
Okay, cool, man. Who did the art for the album? And can you explain it a little bit and why you went with that piece?
Oh, for sure. So there's another layer to, I guess, why I called it Balance of the Force, to like also bring balance to the rap game. Not that there's like a lack of lyricists or artists trying to preach a good message, but just to balance the more hedonistic side of rap music. The person who did the cover, I wish I knew the name, but I actually got it on Fiverr.
Okay.
I reached out to an artist on Fiverr and they did the cover. I'll shoot you the name of the artist later. I feel bad. It was done so long ago. I just don't remember. But shout out to you for putting me onto that website.
Yeah, Fiverr's awesome. All right, you mentioned Star Wars, man. Who are your top 3 favorite Star Wars characters?
Top 3 favorite Star Wars characters. I didn't even think about that. I know Darth Vader is one of them for sure. Darth Vader.
Jar Jar Binks.
I mean, when I was a kid, I actually was Jar Jar for Halloween one year. So yeah, so and shout out to Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, and from the more newer generation, Ahsoka Tano. She's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Is that is that Rosario Dawson's character?
Yeah, I think she does voice Ahsoka Tano. I think she does.
Yeah. Okay. Dave, what about you? Are you a Star Wars fan or no?
Nah. I saw the original ones. I thought they were pretty cool. And then I did see the one with Jar Jar Binks, but that was the last one that I saw. I didn't see anything beyond that. And just like, I don't watch a lot of movies anyways, but one thing that I really like about old school movies, especially like the original Star Wars, was all the models that they built to create. It was the same thing with like 80s like fantasy movies and stuff. They had to build all those suits and outfits and stuff for those movies, and like CGI is sort of taken over everything. And I'm just not a big fan of CGI. I like the old school painstaking process of models and stuff, and it kind of I feel the same way about music too, but I'm just more old school that way. So everything automated, automate everything in CGI.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah, that was definitely like an art to, doing all the makeup and making the puppets. I think what was the guy who did the Muppets did Yoda, I think, and Jim Henson.
Jim Henson, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, yeah. Like that stuff to me that's just so cool. Like all that the time and the effort that goes into building something like that. And the movies are always really good. Like now you get like a lot of movies that aren't that great, but the movie's got to be good if you're spending that much time building all those puppets and models and everything. You better make sure that it's a solid movie, because you can't just automate everything through CGI. So I don't know.
That reminds me of like claymation too, how they do they move it one little spot and then they got to move that like 10,000 times to make a 2-minute scene.
Hey, let's talk about some of the tracks, man. Hey, well, let's start with the first track, Loose Bowels, man. It's always that one too is also a big decision on like what track you're gonna put first, and so Hook was awesome, man. I'm shitting on them like I have loose bowels, and so yeah, just a good old fashioned battle track. And so, what made you decide to go with that song as the first song? And talk to us about the dude that's on the track with you, OC De Niro.
So I just thought it was just a hard hitting opener. That's the main reason why I went with it. I thought it was just I thought it would start the album on a good note. Yeah, no particular reason. Like, it's not very deep or anything like that, but the beat goes hard and I feel like I'm, rapping very aggressively. So I think it was just a good start for the album because of that. And OC De Niro, it's funny because I was in Korea and I was recording the song and in one of the barracks rooms, and then OC De Niro had the next session, and mine was kind of bleeding into his, and he was cool about it. Yeah, like he wasn't mad. He was just like sitting there, and I was like, I got this. I got this like 8-bar part. I want somebody else to get on it, and he was like, I'll get on it, and he just put it on, and he just freestyled that, and I was like, that's dope.
Oh, that is wild, man. So you guys had like a little studio set up in the barracks in Korea, and somebody was running it kind of like a studio, and you guys were all taking turns to get your studio time in. Is that how it went down? Oh, that's crazy. Holy cow. Oh man, I didn't realize. I thought you did all the recording from your own barracks room, but I didn't realize that somebody was running the studio. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. Shout out to OC De Niro though. Like he's really talented. Like he kept like freestyle and he kept going, and I was like, oh, hold on, I don't need. I just need that little 8 bars. He was like, come on, man. But
yeah. So that was at Camp, not Camp Casey. That was at Camp Humphreys, Korea, huh?
Yeah, it was at Camp Humphreys. Yeah, so some of these tracks are kind of old. Like I think I made albums maybe 2 years ago, maybe like 2.5 years ago. So
yeah, that's okay, man. I do that all the time, man. Projects, I'll have stuff that like I just couldn't find like the right place to put them in, and eventually I'll put them on a mixtape. That's right. And you're talking about like Rock Lee, and there was another song on there that you had on there. Stand up, dude. I think, right?
Is
And
that a dude? Yeah, biting her lip. Like the first half, I think I did the first half when I was in Korea, and the
yeah,
second half
I think
when I
it's
came to
great,
watch it.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to package it and put it all together. So I'm glad you put it in as a package deal on this album. That's pretty awesome. And those songs that you recorded in Korea, you didn't intend on making an album with it, right? They were just songs that you were recording, and then I guess you wanted to use it eventually and just put it out as a package.
Yeah, yeah. It's weird how it came together. Like the first half is a little bit more just stream of consciousness, just trying to come up with the best lines I could at the time. And then once I
Yeah,
got the work in, it was a bit more like I was trying to make more focused and like serious music, more message based music. So
yeah,
that's where like my mindset then and the mindset now and it coming together.
yeah. Hey, what was the second half of the project like? Did you make all the beats first, or did you make the beats as you completed with one song? Did you do like make a beat, record the song, and then do it from there? Or did you make a batch of beats? What was the system in doing that second half of the album?
I always like to make the beat first. I don't know, like the beat is like the thing that gets me. Like I might have like a concept first. Like oh, I want to talk about like for stand up do like oh I want to just make a role model type song. Like I'll write
Yeah,
that down. Or like for worship, I was like, oh, I want to make a song about, worshiping material possessions or something like that. So like I'll have the concept first and then I'll start making beats and then I'll be like, oh, I want to, that's kind of how the process gets going. Maybe like concept, beat, and then I start attacking that concept from as many angles as I can until the song is done.
nice. Well, Dave, did you have any thoughts on the album when you went through it?
Yeah, well, one of my questions was going to be in regard to the production, but the fact that you did all the beats yourself is pretty awesome. What were you using for that? And like, were you using like I'm interested in the programs you were using to make the beats, and then also are you using samples, loops, or is it original composition? Because one of the tracks that I put down is the Stand Up Dude track because I really love the piano on that song. So is that
Uh,
like you actually playing the piano? Did you grab that from a record and flip it, or how did you approach the production on this track?
on the stand up do track, that was a sample.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was a sample that I took. I might have pitched it down maybe one or two octaves and then threw some drums on it. And then the sample pack had the same like loop but played in with a different instrument. So like there's kind of a breakdown where it's an electric piano. So I just kind of pieced it together with samples. Some of the tracks on there are used with one shots. Some of them I'm playing stuff on top. Like I'm just using all the tools
Yeah,
that I have to make the best beats I can at the time. Not trying to limit myself like, oh, I'm only gonna use a record. I'm only gonna go use records. I'm only gonna use samples from royalty-free websites, or I'm only gonna use kicks from a record. Like, I don't know. I just try to bring it all together until I think I make the best beat I could
Yeah.
with my skill set at the time, and then yeah, that's how
cool.
that's
What
how.
program are you using? Are you using like Acid or Reason or Fruity Loops or something totally new that I'm behind the curve on?
Oh, nah, man, I'm just using
Okay.
Ableton, Ableton, and
That's
Ableton and Splice. I like using Splice to get my drum sounds, and they have some one shots and samples that I grab from there from time to time. And TrackLib for like records, because
yeah,
they got a system where you could purchase the rights to records. So I like
interesting.
I like that. I like that for cheap, like for $50. Some records go for $50 and you can buy the rights and stuff like that. As opposed to like the record and then you upload it. It's like you can't use that record. And it's like dang,
Right.
it gets put back.
Yeah, and I think that song too was one that you promoted ahead of the album, and that got some share play from some of the hip hop websites, right? Was that the one I remember like Spitfire Austin had shared a track or did a little write up on it. Was it Stand Up Dude?
Yeah, it was stand up, dude.
Yeah,
Stand up.
yeah. The messaging was really good and tight on that. Can you tell us real quick what the message behind that song was?
Sure thing. So the messaging behind it was just wanting to be the best role model I can for the people around me. Like one line on the song that it really sticks with me. Like I want to be someone that a son can brag about. Because like growing up,
Yeah.
like my dad wasn't really around, and I didn't want to talk about my dad, because he was in jail and he was doing bad stuff. So it's like I want to be someone that a son can brag about. If I have a son one day, I wanted to be like, oh, that's my dad. Like, oh, my dad's this. You know, I want him to
Yeah.
see me in a better light. Um, but yeah, the messaging is just being the best role model I can for the people around me. Not to be a perfect person, but just always striving to be better and leave a positive impact on people.
Oh, that's great, man. Yeah, and you had a couple songs I had heard when we were back in Korea that I'm glad you put on this album. Rock Lee,
Uh-huh.
just talking about getting down and dirty and putting in the elbow grease when you're doing work, and that was one of my favorite songs from your from our times that we spent together in Korea. That's a good one.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. That one goes way back.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, what's your favorite song on the album?
My favorite song on the album, it's between Life Short with Jazan and Stand Up Dude. It's between those
Okay.
two. Yeah,
Hey,
I really.
let's yeah. Hey man, those are definitely great tracks. Let's talk about that real quick, man. Life Short. You mentioned Jazan exclusive is the homie from
Uh-huh.
Hawaii, dope female MC. Not that it matters that she's female, but she's super dope. And
Oh, for
so
sure.
tell me how that went down. How did you guys connect and end up doing music? Let's hear the story.
So it was thanks to you guys because y'all did an interview with her and you put a clip of her song. I think Mindset is Everything. And I was like, man,
Hmm.
this is dope. This is a really good song. And I was just going through her catalog and I was working on Life Short and
Yeah.
I only had one verse. I was like, man, it'd be really nice to have a second verse on this. And I got verses from other people, but like I was like,
Yeah.
nah, like lyrics are good, but I don't like the voice it's much. And then I just reached out to her and I was like, hey, I like your stuff. I want you to get on this track. I was like, you don't have to, like I'm gonna send the beat, and the rough mix to you if you like it, hop on it. She was like, yeah. So I think maybe like a month went by and then she sent me back her verse. I was like, yo, this is really nice.
Nice.
Yo, this is cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys connected, and yeah, she's just a dope person, man, and she makes some good music. Super active in the scene here in Hawaii, and just
Yeah.
making things happen. So she's repping hard down here in Hawaii, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that you guys did a song, and
Mhm.
I thought it was really good. Yeah, it was one of my favorite tracks. The horns on the beat was super
Yeah.
dope too. So good job, man. Hey, Dave, did you have a favorite track on the album?
Yeah, so I put down four that jumped out to me, and that was
Yeah.
Balance, Insecure, Stand Up Dude, and The Other Side. I really liked how you closed out the album. But I put down because I was just jotting down, I was listening to the album, jotting down notes and everything. So that's the reason why I'm looking off to the left here, because I got all my notes on over here to the left. And probably my favorite track vocally I put down was Balance. I mean, I really like that
Yeah.
track all around. I love the classic breaks, like the old school
Yeah.
feel of that. Uh, your flow and lyrics and everything perfectly
Yeah.
match with the beat, and so that one really jumped out. So like vocally, flow, delivery, all around like that balance. But my favorite beat on there is definitely Insecure. I really like that kind of like the saxophone that was incorporated in the hook, kind of in the background, and
Yeah.
it's more of a mellow beat. And Memphis will attest to this. That's more my style. I'm not like a hard hitting hip hop guy. I really like mellow, chill beats. I like piano beats. I mean, that's just my style. That's my personal preference, because we're all biased, so we're all going to gravitate towards songs that we personally like. It's all subjective. There is no right or wrong or anything. But for me personally, and what I like to listen to, those ones really jumped out. But that beat for Insecure, was just incredible. And then probably the best all around track I thought was Balance. But then Stand Up Dude was also up there, and we've already talked about that one. But that's a really good song lyrically, the beat, everything was great. And then I really like how you closed out the album with The Other Side. But really, Balance, Insecure, and Stand Up Dude, those three tracks were the ones that really jumped out to me. So, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
a very
Balance.
eclectic production style. Like it wasn't just like one feel for the entire album. Each track hits a little bit different. You know, it kind of had some old school breaks. You got like some more mellow piano tracks. You got some more experimental production tracks, and you got some hard hitting songs too. So there's one thing I would say to a listener: if you pick up this record or listen to it, there's a little bit of something for everybody, regardless of what your favorite style is. And so that's one thing I took away from the album that I thought was really nice. You got a real like eclectic musical approach.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. And that's funny you mentioned Balance as being your favorite song. I had that on my notes too. It's my favorite beat, and I thought your flow on that was the best. And I also thought the album showcased growth, right? I saw you did a little bit of double time, triple time throughout the album, so I could tell that you put some time into writing the album or writing the records of this album, and so I thought that was a great just show of growth, man. So Balance, I concur. It's a dope song. And then Insecure, you mentioned that too. I like it. The messaging, insecurity shows what I need. Fear guides me. Shit, me too, man. Good job, man. Messaging was great.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys I appreciate you recognizing the progress. Like I'm just gonna try to get better and better every day. And appreciate you guys recognizing the songwriting in it too. Yeah, because for a long time, like people are like, oh, like you're a really good producer, and like they just wouldn't say anything about my rapping, and I was like, damn, you know what I mean?
I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yeah, but so to be recognized, like, oh, this was a good song, you know, like this was like the writing, like just to be recognized on that level means a lot. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to digest it like that, because some people will listen to it like, not that it's their fault, but they'll just listen to it like, yeah, it was solid, and like they just don't say anything else. And like as artists, you know, like the pain behind that, like, dang, I feel like 100, you know, and you just listen to like, oh, it's cool, you know, like that's it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys taking the time.
Yeah, hey, dude, I was like that when I was young too, man. I was really sensitive to, opinions about my music. But when you become an old fart like me, man, at this point, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. I just release music. When I'm happy with it, I'm happy with it. But I know what you mean, man. Because that's how you get into it, right? Like just you want to draw the reaction that you think, same reaction that you had when you finished the song. So I get it. Worship was another track that I really enjoyed. Can you tell me about 70 Flat and how that happened?
Sure. So I got one member of 70 Flat on there. So the guy who did the feature, he doesn't have a solo account. He just has one with 70 Flat. So that's how I was able to give him credit on the song. But he was my roommate actually. In the barracks room, and he did well. And I think I had just one verse as well, and then I made like his part for the beat, and then he wrote that in like 15 minutes, and he got in and laid it down. I was like, yo, that's dope.
And the hook, what's on the inside is priceless. Again, dope messaging. And man, as we get into this interview, you keep talking about guys being in that barracks building. I'm mad that I wasn't in the same barracks room, man. Hey, I was really quiet in my barracks building, man. I wish I was housed up with you guys, man, with dudes that make music. So, was there a bunch of people in that barracks building making music?
You should have enlisted, man. What were you thinking?
Yeah, you guys do all the cool shit, man. My barracks building is quiet by 6 o'clock, and we're in bed by 1900. But y'all sound like you got a studio in the barracks building, and all these rappers are from Korea. Man, where was I at, dude?
No, like I was fortunate. I was fortunate just to be at the right place at the right time. When I was in Korea, I actually even hosted an open mic.
What the
Uh,
fuck, dude?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just put like flyers in the barracks room. The guy who was mixing all of our stuff, I gave him the flyer, and then I hosted an open mic one night, and we all did our like 2 or 3 songs per set.
At the
So
air,
no, I
at
just been
the
fortunate to be around artists.
yeah, was it in the where'd you guys do it? In the common area of the barracks building, or where'd you guys do the open mic?
So the open mic, it was yeah, I think yeah, in the common area, kind of by the smoke area. There was a big
Yeah.
old grass field. I don't know, everything just fell into my lap because there was a guy who would DJ every Friday just for fun. He was a DJ and he would
Yeah.
just be music. And then I made friends with him and I told him like, hey, you want to DJ for this open mic and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And just really lucky to have all those people around me and for them to be cool about it and for guys to come out
Yeah.
and perform and stuff.
All right, here, tread carefully, man. Was this before you met me or after you met me?
Oh, I think you might have. I think this was before. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, good answer. Good answer. I would have been sad if I didn't get an invite, man.
No, I'm pretty sure it was
Uh,
before. Yeah, because
yeah. I think
unfortunately,
when we met, we were getting ready to PCS already anyway, right? I think we were at the tail end of our time at Korea.
yeah, yeah, we were. I think we were on our way out, regardless. But no, I would have sent you the invite if we did one. We didn't do a bunch because
Oh,
some of
that's
the
cool.
guys actually ended up not being as what's the word? I don't even know how to describe it, but unfortunately, like tempers flared and it didn't end too well. So we only did one, but we were lucky to get that.
Yeah. That's cool, man. I love all the pockets of hip hop all around the world, and I remember that, man. That's a cool barracks room. Well, cool, man. What else you got in the works, man?
I got I got one album written already. Trying to get it all recorded. It's called Super Nerd. So it's if y'all thought like the Star Wars references were gonna stop, they're not stopping. I got
Yeah.
I got some more, comic book. So the album essentially it's all like all aggressive stuff, all comic book references, shows I watched growing up, Star Wars. So kind of like me just embracing my like nerdness or whatever to the highest degree.
Yeah.
So I'm called a super nerd.
Cool.
And then I'm right now I'm working on a mixtape, might be called Ooze, to be determined, like the title to be determined, but I'm getting more like better with my production. Like I'm reaching out to like people to play like cello parts and like, oh, this
Nice.
I want a synth solo on this hook. Like I'm just taking everything to the next level. So
Very cool, man.
I'm excited for that. I got some good songs in the works.
Yeah, you did all the writing for that album in. You're in Washington, right?
For Super Nerd, what you
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
here did all the writing
Are you,
here in Washington.
yeah. What are you in? You're not. You're just outside of Seattle. Where are you stationed at now?
Joint Base Lewis McCord. It's in Tacoma.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
an hour away from Seattle.
Nice, man. And you mentioned that you might stay out there permanently, man. Are you gonna still be repping El Paso, Texas? Or are you gonna be claiming Washington citizenship now?
Oh man, always repping El Paso, always,
Yeah,
always. But,
that's awesome.
I love Washington. I've grown to love Washington. The rain
Yeah.
and the sucks, but it's getting summertime now. So.
Yeah, Washington's a good place, man. West Coast is great. Weather is good. No, I don't know about Tacoma, man. I know it rains quite frequently out there, from what I understand. But yeah, a lot of cool things to do out there.
Oh
Good
yeah,
deal, man.
sure.
Yeah,
My wife and I just signed up for a salsa class too, as well.
nice.
Just throwing that out
All
there, it's
right.
random, but
Hey, that's cool, man. Maybe we get a salsa remix for one of your songs. That'd be awesome.
yeah, for sure. I'm
Hey,
learning. Actually, I did write a song in Spanish. I did. I did write a song in Spanish. I've been learning
did you?
Spanish. I wrote a rap song in Spanish. I did. I
Ah,
did.
super cool, man. Yeah, are you are you dabbling in DJing too, or is it strictly you're just stuck on production and rapping, which is a good thing? I mean, you're already a walking studio, but do you mess with DJing at all?
I don't, but one thing I wanted to do or get into, I don't know what the machine is called, but like it's like this kind of like this MIDI keyboard, and you can like play songs on command and take drums out and filter certain parts of the track. And I've seen artists. There's this one of my favorite rap artists, John Wayne. You do like
Okay.
this one show where he'd be playing his beats and like rapping. It's like I don't know. That's something that I would like to get into.
I look forward to the new album, man. I can't wait, man. When are you projecting release for the new project?
I'm thinking probably maybe December this year.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Dave out of vacation, man, and we got to work on the third album.
I call it vacation.
Life.
Yeah.
No, for sure, for sure. I always like hearing your stuff, man. And yeah, you're always putting stuff out, always doing stuff musically. So yeah, I'm sure you got cooking up.
No, I mean, I just I'm just kind of in a break period, man. I'm kind of enjoying this whole podcast thing, man. That takes up a lot of time, but I really enjoy it, man, and that helps with just trying to get the creative juices back. And it's great to talk to people who are on the same wavelength, and it's good to showcase some dope music, man. But yeah, I definitely want to get back in there and do something with Dave too. We've been friends for a long time, man. We were just talking about it before you got on board. I think he knew me as a young dude in the army, man, and now I'm like close to a point where I can retire. Holy shit, man!
Yeah, I've known we've been friends for like 17 years or so. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I used to have hair like Damien when you first met me. No, I was already shaving my head, dude.
Awesome, man. Hope to say the same about my friends now. Like, oh, we've known each other for so long.
Yeah, it's been good, man. So that's really cool, man. Well, good, man. Well, hey, man, I always like to close up interviews with some fun questions, man. This is a new thing I incorporated as I've learned to do them more. And so, all right, you ready for some of these, man? Let me know.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's do it, man. Hey, I'm always interested in the sense of humor that people have. What is your favorite comedy movie?
Ooh, favorite comedy movie. All right, I'm just gonna say the first one that comes to mind. All right, so Happy Gilmore. I freaking love Happy Gilmore. Shit makes me laugh so much. I think like the concept of like a aggressive hockey player trying to be a professional golfer. It's just like blows my mind, and I think Adam Sandler killed that role.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like to watch that like once or twice a year.
Okay. Hey, that's pretty good, man. Dave, what about you? I know you're not a big movie watcher, but what about you? Do you have a favorite comedy movie?
Man, yeah, I don't really watch a lot of movies, but I did like way back in the day. I watched Euro Trip, and that was pretty hilarious. Like if I'm watching something like this comedy, I like take it to the extreme in stupidity. So it's got to be really, really stupid. So like Euro Trip would fall into that category, and that one was pretty hilarious.
I thought that was a good movie too. Yeah, both those movies are good. All right, well done. Yeah, I'm with it, man. I'm on the same level, man. All right, hey, Damien, when you first started rapping, was your intent to be a battle MC? I know you do a lot of battle focused raps, and so was your intent to be a battle MC, or was it just no thought to it, man?
My intent was never to be a battle MC. I was in a couple of battles, nothing really too crazy growing up, but here and there. I guess some of my aggressive raps just come from I like how it makes me feel. Makes me feel in a way. And like and every time I make an aggressive rap, I try not to make it as like a facade. Like some rappers like, oh, I'm toting all these guns or something like that, or oh, I'm gonna hit you with the extensions, kind of like you see the rappers going at it right now, like Kendrick and Cole and all that. How they do like gun talk in the raps and stuff like that. So So yeah, even like on Loose Vowels, I have a funny line where like I say fly shit. You can say that I ribbit. Like I don't know. Some people might hear that line and be like, oh, that's whack. But like that's me being me, while also being more like aggressive at the
Yeah.
same time. But yeah, no intentions to be a battle rapper. I just like to be confident in myself.
Yeah. No, it's part of the music. Hey, here's your next question. If you could have a superpower, what power would that be and why?
Okay, cool. I like this one. Actually, someone asked me this the other day, and I trolled them. So I'm gonna give you my troll answer, and I'll give you my serious answer.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. So the troll answer that I told the person is like, all right, if I had a superpower, I would want the ability to be able to fold clothes at the snap of a finger. I'm like, yo, man, that's so whack. Like, oh man, that's so whack. And then my wife would do it like, man, that's whack. And then and then she's like, but I was doing the laundry the other day, and I was like, man, I wish I had that power. And I was like, see, I told you. All right. All right. My serious answer is super intelligence, because
Right.
if you have super intelligence, I feel like you could, create anything to, give you any power that you want. Like you can create like Tony Stark, you can create like an Iron Man suit, and have super strength and invulnerability, or create serum to give you super speed, whatever. Just getting a little nerdy there, but I think super intelligence, because it could be a gateway to giving you other supernatural abilities, or superhero abilities.
Okay. Hey, that's a good one, man. What about you, Dave?
I don't know, man. That laundry one sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I got a giant pile sitting on my bedroom floor right now that I put away.
I got some clothes in the dryer waiting for me, man. That's funny. Good. Man. All right, here's my final closeout question for you, and I'll send this one to Dave too, man, because I haven't gotten a chance to talk to Dave in a while. If you could have dinner with anybody in history, let's pick two, dead or alive, who would that be and why?
Probably, I don't know, just one of my ancestors. I took a DNA test not too long ago, and apparently I have like a Colombian ancestor, like a bunch of generations back. So maybe just sitting down with people in my ancestry. Oh no, that's dead. Hold on, alive.
Okay. You don't have to be alive, man. Either or, man. So I thought that was a good answer, man. Very cool, man.
Man, I'm gonna go with Christopher Hitchens.
Oh, I don't know who he is. Who's that? School me.
Oh, you don't know Christopher? Oh, okay. He was this British intellectual who he died probably 15 years ago.
Okay.
And he always had some really fascinating takes. So I'd always listen to his commentary, even when I disagreed with it. And I read most of his books. And then he died of cancer because he was an alcoholic, and all he would do was smoke and drink all day. But he would just get totally obliterated and write these books, and they were just brilliant. He was just he was just a really intelligent guy. And so, especially when it comes to international affairs, and his perspective also changed throughout time. So it wasn't like he was just a set ideologue. He would just constantly change throughout his career. Just really fascinating guy. And I've always constantly, with everything that goes on in the world, whenever there's some major international event, I always think to myself, man, I wish I'd be really interested in his take, but he's no longer around. So he would be somebody that I would be really interested in having a conversation with, just to get his perspective on things, especially how much has changed since he's been gone.
Well, hey, thanks again for spending time with us this weekend to talk about Balance of the Force. Great album, man. I enjoyed it, Ben, and I look forward to the future projects that you got coming. It's going to be a good ride. 2024, close it out right with that project, man. Any final words before we close this interview out?
Okay, yeah, okay. I got a person I'd want to have dinner with that's alive. I do got one. All right. So I would want to sit down and have dinner with Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
Oh, the
Yeah.
chef.
The chef. Yeah, I like his bluntness and his courage to say what's on his mind. And I think just finding out how he thinks about, you know, the world or his approach to his art form, which is cooking, would be interesting to hear his thought process face to face.
Now, are you cooking a meal for that dinner and having him scrutinize it, or?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Yeah, and then just have him just go off on my meal.
Cut a promo on your dinner.
But besides that, it was really fun. It's really fun to come on and speak with you guys, and I really appreciate the opportunity and you guys taking the time to listen to my album and to chop it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime.
All good. Well, with that, hey, I look forward to releasing the interview, and hey, man, keep in touch, man, and keep making music.
For sure, man. Likewise.
All right.